You are now tuned into the ultimate sounds of Fathers from the Hood.
Hey, yes sir. Y'all now tuned in to another episode of the Fathers from the Hood podcast. Talk to him, L. How you feeling?
What's happening? LMC in the building. You know what I'm saying? We got Dan Blac. We got a very, very special guest. You feel me? So shout out to the Patreon.
Yeah.
You feel me? Hey, Chill Boys, I see you. Hey, Loomis, you know what I'm saying? Thank you for this right here, though. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, shout out to Loomis Frames for the light boxes. They got them. If you need to purchase them, go to their Etsy website. We'll put the link up there. I'm sorry to interrupt. Go ahead, L.
Nah, you good, loved one. You good. Where it's at, though? You in Fathers from the Hood house right now.
Yep.
We got a very special guest.
Very.
You know what I'm saying? Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, all of that.
Don't be a hater. Real quick,
Right.
You're sitting at home. You're sitting on the couch. You ain't doing nothing. Your life passing you by.
come on
You're
now.
sitting on the phone anyway. Go ahead and hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button.
Please
Go
do.
ahead and make a change for your life that's going to make better in the future. Hey, if you remember that commercial, you remember us. You know what I'm saying? But hey, go ahead and hit the like button. You're doing nothing. You're sitting on the couch anyway. You're on your phone all day anyhow. Hit the like button. We can change your life. Fathers from the Hood.
Fathers from the Hood. We in the building.
Yes,
so Dan
sir.
Blac, man.
What's up?
Man, who we got in the building today, though? You know
Go
what
ahead,
I'm
do
saying?
your intro, man. We got a very special guest, extremely special guest. We don't usually do this, but this dude has made himself available, and we are very appreciative. We are very honored to have him in our presence. You're going to find out. Go ahead, L. I don't mean to cut you off. Go ahead, brother.
Swang. So let me introduce the guest, right? You know what I'm saying? A very prestigious individual.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? He's been around for a minute, multiple movies, been on the TV screen, movie screen, in your theater, in your living room. You know what I mean? So, Geno?
Yes, sir.
My man.
Swang.
My man. Listen, I don't know if I can live up to that introduction, but I'm going to do my best.
Hey, that voice,
Hey,
though,
hold on,
man.
Hold on. He didn't do it right. I got a better introduction. Do you mind?
Swang, run it.
Do you mind, Geno?
Run it.
I don't mind,
Okay,
brother.
look, so I met this dude at Tap and Ash. We were shooting content for an artist and the venue, but we met a super talented individual that we're honored to have here. He's a true multi-hyphenate. He's an actor, singer, voice actor. Back in the days, he was a championship rugby athlete. You know what I'm saying? These are some of the highlights he has. He was a lead role on a Disney's Pair of Kings. If you haven't seen that, I did. I was a little younger watching that. You know what I'm saying? He was also a co-host on Boyard, sorry. This is one of the ones I appreciate. He was a stage role as Mufasa in the Australian playwright, The Lion King. Okay, he made appearances on MTV's Teen Wolf, Nickelodeon's Night Squad, and one of my favorites, Banshee on Cinemax. I saw this and didn't even know him, which is crazy. And then also he's featured on Bone Tomahawk alongside Kurt Russell. He's a voice actor, Galactus on Fortnite, Hikaru on Horizon. I can keep going. This dude has a long list of accolades. But hey, make some noise for the one and only Geno Segers. Y'all make some noise right here. Y'all know.
Swang.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Man,
sir.
y'all trying to make me blush, man.
Not even,
Make
no.
me
Hold
blush.
on.
Ain't no
man,
blush,
yeah.
ain't no blush. You deserve it. You deserve it. Make a little noise, y'all. How you feeling, Geno? Talk to him.
Man, if I was any better, I'd have to be twins. Man.
He said
two
two
of you.
times.
I had to share with somebody just like me.
Yes, sir. How you feeling?
Man, like I said, man, I'm feeling good today, man. I finally got out here. It was a bit of a short ride. It wasn't too far, so anything that's not too far is always good with me.
In today's,
not
right?
too long, huh?
There it is. There it is.
Swang.
I took a visit down here to the cigar outlet while I got here too early, actually.
Okay.
So I went down to the cigar outlet and hollered at my man, grabbed me a few sticks, and slung on up here.
Okay.
Nothing wrong with that.
Finiciato. He's a cigar finiciato, or what is it? Connoisseur. Aficionado. You heard me kind of badger the name. I didn't know. I don't smoke cigars, but he's a connoisseur, right?
Hey,
I met him
connoisseur.
at Tap and Ash, a cigar lounge. He was sitting there chilling. Some ladies was looking at him. We got some content of him, and it was all natural to him. I said, man, who is this dude? He got to be important. How he just chilling, and he's commanding.
Naturally, huh?
He's
Naturally,
commanding the
huh?
energy, right?
Fine.
So real quick, we're going to do a real brief introduction. This is the man, the myth, the legend, the father. You know, he's done a lot on. He has a father role on some of these things, or some of these shows that he's produced or he's been on. But real quick, let's get a deep dive into Geno, if you don't mind. Tell him how it is, man. Where you grew up, if you had your dad in your life, just a couple of the same things we do.
Well, you know, I was born, raised, and educated in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, where I went to school, grew up. Winston is You know, the way I look at it is they're hood dudes and then they're street dudes.
Okay.
In Winston, there's a hood dude is kind of like me. You know, I grew up in the hood. I kind of understand, you know, who's who are the players,
The dynamic, right?
You know, who are the movers and shakers, who to mess with, who not to mess with,
Okay.
who to avoid, all this sort of thing. But a street dude is the kind of dude that would, you know, sell drugs to his mama's sister.
Biggie Smalls.
Gotcha. He said Biggie
Notorious
Smalls.
B.I.G.
Yeah, dude, that's a street
Right,
dude.
right,
You know
right.
what I'm saying?
So you say you're a hood dude
I'm a
versus
hood
a
dude,
street dude, right?
versus a street dude.
Okay.
Copy that.
Talk
Street dudes are get it by any means necessary, whereas I kind of got a code that I'm like, nah, I ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna do it this way. I'm gonna do it that way. But I still know the hood. You know what I mean?
Some
Copy
moral.
that.
Some
Gotcha.
moral.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
absolutely.
integrity, right?
Right, absolutely. But then, you know, after growing up playing a lot of sports, being the first 2-time state champion in the history
talk
of
to
my high
him.
school.
Come on, man. Talk to him.
Elaborate on that, though. Hold on. Slow down. Hold on. Elaborate. Hold on.
For real.
Elaborate. Hold
You
on.
say rugby?
But the thing people don't realize is that growing up in the hood
Right.
as the only light-skinned, curly-haired dude in the hood, it was a hard battle. You know what I'm saying? I was at the bottom of the hill every day fighting my way to the top of the mountain.
Right.
Just for no reason other than just existing. You mean you would have thought I was able to pick my parents the way these guys were treating me, man. I didn't pick my mom and dad. They picked each other, and I was a result.
Right.
So I got all this shifted anger or misguided energy pointed towards me. So coming up, I was constantly having to swing. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
But I wasn't that dude, though. I was like, you know, Luke, let's be friends. Let's talk about it. But you gotta show and prove. So okay, all right, it's gonna be that.
Right.
I ain't gonna sit here and take it. I'm just gonna wait. You know, I've got cousins I ain't afraid of, so that are way bigger than you.
So you not no small dude.
No,
you telling me that people was testing you?
But you know, let's talk about it, bro.
It's that message. Hold
Let's
on.
talk about it. Now, you think I was born this size?
Okay, I hear you. You had to
You know
grow
what I'm
into
saying? I
it.
had to grow into it,
Right,
bro.
right.
I mean, by the time I was in the 9th grade, I wasn't but about 5'1", 5'2".
What? Serious?
5'2", bro.
Shot up in
ninth
3
grade.
years.
Freshman year, you was
Freshman
5'1".
year, I was 5'1", 5'2".
Wow.
Now, that said, I was wearing a size 13 shoe, so the evidence was there.
Oh yeah, you gonna grow.
Hold on, I was
It's
ready
gonna get worse.
already.
The
Hold
evidence-
on.
my arm, I could scratch my knee standing straight up.
Wow.
He said with no effort though. Hold on.
Bro, I mean, at 5'2", I could scratch my knees, and I was wearing a size 13.
Wow.
That's crazy.
By the time before I got to the 10th grade, I was in a 14.
Wow.
That summer, I shot up 6 inches.
Oh my
Wait,
goodness.
so your shoe size now is same size? Hold on.
No, dude,
Of course not.
Dude, no, for I want to say between the age of 13
Okay.
and 15. No,
Right.
between the age of 11 and 15.
Okay.
I was wearing the same shoe size as my age.
Oh, that's deep.
Wow.
But what right now? Like, did your feet?
Now-
is it still the same size?
No. Now I wear a size 15.
Hey man, why he worried about your foot now? Hey man, mind your business.
Hold on. Wait. He said by the ages he was, that was his shoe size.
No,
I'm like,
but
wait, hold on.
Yeah,
If
One
you-
of the things that people notice him from is his size and his voice. When did your voice actually? When did your
Dude,
puberty talk to about? with the
my
voice?
voice changed between. I want to say I was right at 12 years old.
Okay.
Okay.
And
That's what's up.
and my mama tells this story at every family reunion. Every family reunion she tells this story. She tells the story that one day I asked that boy what he want for breakfast, and he said, I said, "Ooh, Lord, that boy can't even talk. We're gonna give you some oatmeal, baby."
I thought it was hot oatmeal. So you said hot.
No, she said, "Let's get this baby some oatmeal. It'll be good for your throat." So I ate the oatmeal, right?
Right.
And then the next morning, she said, "What you want for breakfast, baby?" I said, she said, "Oh, my goodness, we're going to put a little nutmeg and cinnamon in it this time. It'll be good for your throat."
Right.
So about 2 or 3 days, man, I'm eating oatmeal, right? I was pretty tired of that oatmeal. So the next morning, she asked me, "What you want for breakfast, baby?" I said, "Fruit." Fruit. Fruit Loops, mama. And she
cereal.
Bro, she kicked the door in talking about, who is that man in here wanting Fruit Loops?
You sound like a man.
I was like, I don't know what you're talking about, Mama. My head is vibrating.
I know.
And my chest is rattling. I feel fine.
Right,
she tried to keep me out of school because she thought something was wrong.
Right. That was that bad?
But it was that bad, bro. It was that bad. So she tells all the families, I asked that boy what he wanted for breakfast. He said Fruit Loops, Mama.
So what was your dad eating when he was at the house?
Oh man, Big Lonnie and my mom didn't get along.
Okay, I hear you. That's your father.
My dad, yeah, my dad.
Okay.
Obviously.
Yeah.
No, I'll just play.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Message.
But I tell you, like my mom asked me, my auntie asked me, was I gonna grow up and be like my daddy? And I said, well, my dad is the best dad in the world.
Right. Hey now.
But he ain't much of a husband. So I'm going to be a great dad, and I hope to be a great husband.
Hey, man, sometimes we have examples, and they're there for you to learn from, and you learn learn what not to do.
Well, you're going to learn either way.
So what
exactly?
What that saying? Part. So what did you learn from your father?
I learned a lot of. I learned how to be actively persistent.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Whereas your persistence can wane from time to time. You know what I mean? You can be persistent today and then be not motivated tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
I learned how to say, you know what, this is what I'm going to do, and come hell or high water, this is how I'm going to get it done. And even if it doesn't work today, I'm going to get it done tomorrow.
Okay.
So that helped me in wrestling. That helped me in rugby. That helped me in, cliff diving, sumo wrestling. It helped me in everything that I've ever done. In acting, on stage, off stage, on camera.
Gotcha.
It's helped me in everything. Just be actively persistent, where your persistence doesn't wane.
Nah, I got you. So my assumption, right? So with that, right, is that like, would you say that fueled your resilience and dedication and discipline?
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. At the end of the day, discipline is something we do when we don't want to do it.
Copy that.
You can't take a day off from being disciplined.
Right.
Copy that.
Right. And so I learned a lot from my dad. I learned a whole lot what not to be. My dad was extremely insecure about his affection.
Okay.
He was extremely insecure about his affection, especially that towards my mother. I honestly believe he genuinely loved my mother, but he just had an insecure way of expressing it.
Back then, a lot of men, I don't care what race, I don't care what age, well, it is age, but I don't care what race. Back then, a lot of men really had a difficult time expressing themselves, expressing their love for their family, expressing what they're going through. And hopefully this podcast can help shift those things.
No, think about it though. You saying back then though, but it's still the same thing now.
I guess that's true.
Like us men are still going through the struggle.
We just went through that on Father's Day.
Exactly.
Right.
Come on now. You feel me?
Right.
Preach to the choir. You feel me?
Right.
It's just where it's at though. It's just us men are still going through that same type of difficulties as far as being a father. You know what I mean? Like, let alone you ain't got no kids, you in a relationship. Okay, cool. But if you got kids and you got to deal, exactly,
it's different.
But we're still going through those same struggles till today.
Okay, Geno, real quick. I know you had some father roles, some positions that you played on numerous shows and TV shows. So, real quick, do you have children? I know you know.
I do.
Okay,
I do.
I know you're very vocal and present in their life. I know you are.
As much as I possibly can be.
Right.
My first wife, I've been married twice. My first wife was a bit, I won't say unruly. I just say it was a bad choice on my part.
You take responsibility.
Absolutely. It was a bad choice on my part. And if I had taken a steeper interest in some of the things that she was interested in, then we would very likely be together today. But I didn't. The mistake I made was focusing on career path and earnings. I thought that would help us in our relationship, and I was clearly wrong.
Okay.
But I have a son with her.
Okay.
How old is he?
My son's 25.
I know he got to have a deep voice, and he's a big ass
No,
dude.
No, he's about 6'1", 6'1".
Man, that's big. What you mean? He's talking about that's what he know. Girl, man, all the girls want a 6'1" dude. I'm joking. He's not as big as you.
Yeah, he's about 6'1" and about 190.
Okay,
190. He's a lean, gangly type guy. kind of like I was when I was in high school.
Okay.
You know, I was gangly, very lean.
Right.
Copy that.
And you know, wrestlers are always very flexible. So I was hyper flexible.
Okay.
And I had this thing about like when it comes to hand, people always want to measure your strength by how much you bench press.
Always.
How much you bench press. Well, back then, you know, I couldn't even bench press my weight. I couldn't even bench press 135 pounds.
Okay.
But my dad was a plumber. We called them pipe turners back in the day.
Pipe turners. Hold on.
Pipe turner, right?
No Ike Turner. Hold on.
No. Pipe turners.
Right.
But like, so from the age of since I was old enough to shake hands, my dad has been breaking my grip.
Right, telling you to shake with a strong grip,
right? So like every day, my grip is being broke. Every pow, right? And so I got in my mind, you know, the day I'm able to break my father's grip, I'm going to be a man.
Hey, that's
I'm going to be a man.
That's deep.
The day I'm able to break my father's grip, that day came.
Okay.
And I'm looking my dad eye to eye.
In the eye.
And I'm about to break his grip. And I became a man that day because I had the power to break my father's grip and chose not to.
Right. Man, that's really when you learn humility. When you know. Yeah, humility.
That was a beautiful statement, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Humility.
And like I realized then that with that kind of power comes responsibility.
All right, Uncle Ben.
And
that's the truth, bro. That's the truth.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Uncle Geno, hold on. Uncle Geno, hold on. Knock it off. Hold on. You know what I mean? Swag. You feel me?
So we're talking about a lot of fatherhood, you know, and a lot of roles and a lot of very good values that you learn from dads. This dude is a thespian. He's been in this industry for a while. Can you answer me a question? What is one of the most powerful fatherhood roles that you've witnessed being performed? What is the best father role or your favorite father role you've ever witnessed played?
That is an
or acted or conveyed. What's the best father role?
You mean for me as a performer?
It can be for you as well, but what have you witnessed? Both, please. That'll be even better. So for you, what's the best fatherhood role that you played, portrayed, acted out? And what's the best fatherhood role that you've witnessed in the industry?
Wow.
I didn't mean to go crazy. I'm sorry. He said, wow.
No. That's deep, man. Because like, if I think of the great fathers on television and in film, it's hard for me to look past Bill Cosby.
Right.
It's hard for me to look past, it's hard for me to look past Denzel when he was a father, played a father role.
Right. Definitely. Fences is crazy.
Fences, all of that, bro.
Crazy performance.
It's hard for me to. Some of these dads, man, are so just.
It's hard. I know it's hard to kind of narrow them down.
Yeah, it's incredible. You know, and as crazy as it sounds, Samuel L. Jackson playing the father when that girl moves. I
know you're not talking about the fire, the house with the fire.
Yeah.
What was it called? Look that up.
Yeah, bro.
Look that up, bro. Samuel L. Jackson.
But here's what people.
Lakeview Terrace.
Yeah. I used to live in
Here's what people. Here's what people tend to forget.
Right.
No. He was the sacrificial lamb. He was the good father who was trying to bring his daughter up in the correct manner.
Right.
The woman that moved next door was an example of the liberal hive that wants her to be liberated, wants her to wear sexy clothes, wants her to dance all sexy.
Wow.
You know, but they made Samuel L. Jackson's
as the villain.
As the villain. but he was an actual strong father that we need.
I got to drop a clue bomb for him.
Was a hero.
You know what I'm saying?
I got to drop a bomb for that. I never noticed. I never thought about it.
But they framed him like the villain, but he wasn't the villain.
I never thought about it. He was really just trying to make sure his adolescent daughter don't go left.
Right.
And if she goes left, that's fine. But me as a father, my job is to make sure she doesn't do these things before she's out of my care.
Absolutely.
I've never looked at it like that. And that's a crazy perspective.
But exactly. But it's going to sound crazy. But if you look at it.
Well, not crazy, but just different.
But I tell you what. Go look at the movie again.
We going to put it up. We're going to run it up.
With fresh eyes. And you're going to say, dang. He right. And all you got to do is ask yourself one question. Would you want the same that Samuel L. Jackson wanted for his daughter?
Oh, my goodness. Drop the bomb.
Oh, my God.
Game over. I just thought about that.
Bro, I'm just saying.
Because I'm thinking, of course, we all think Uncle Phil. We all think Jeffersons, or we all think Will Smith and Pursuit of Happiness, or even me, because I'm from Compton, even my people from L.A., OG Bobby Johnson in South Central.
Bobby Johnson, yes.
That's my favorite. This dude went to jail. His homies took his son, and they turned him out. He had to go fight the hood to get his son back.
Right.
Now, that's different. I understand. That's a different movie. But when you break it down to say he only wanted the best for his daughter, the neighbors, even the director, they wrote it so that you can picture him as this. That's a bomb being dropped, and that's going to explode.
Drop a bomb on him, damn Black.
I never thought about that. This dude gave me a different perspective, because guess what? Dads are always the bad guy.
Oh, right? You're always the bad guy.
I'm the bad guy. I want my.
You ain't never the good guy.
Man, I want my kids to do everything I didn't do, but on the good end.
Still paying child support. Hold on.
Me too. But I'm just saying, I'm a bad guy because, hey, can we do that? No, you don't need to do that. Why don't you do this? And I never looked at it like that, but that's a great perspective. And hey, maybe we need to be actually in the industry to have a different eye to that. But because you see the book, bro, you see the script. We didn't see that.
If I go back and I look and I take that movie down scene by scene, there is nothing in those scenes that I would have done differently.
Because one of the main scenes, he took up his go, hey, let's go have fun.
Right.
Wow, let's have fun. That's me. I'm the exaggerated dad that's being funny with the kids,
but
he's
just showing her the example of it.
Right.
He's giving her
this is how you look.
Right.
Wow, let's go do that. I've never looked at it like that. That is crazy. I was this day old. That is crazy. I've never looked at it like that. Yeah, I'm gonna look at it again, right?
With different eyes. With different eyes. When he dies,
right?
But see, here's how you know that they know.
Right.
When he dies in the position of a crucifix. He falls in the position of a crucifix.
Oh, in the pool, yeah.
Right. So he was actually sacrificed.
Okay. Talk to him.
You see what I'm saying?
Talk to him. Cook it up.
So
that makes sense.
They knew that he was right. They knew that he was the righteous man that he was supposed to be.
For a cause.
For the cause of his daughter's growth.
Okay.
They knew.
Okay, speaking for a cause real quick, because I know. So you have a role. We're going to drive to the left a little bit. This dude has some of the roles that are real pivotal in displaying rights, I guess. Let's go ahead and reword it. This dude plays roles that can leave a burning effect in your mind when it comes to cultural reflection. That's better. So when he played Chayton Littlestone in this movie Banshee, to me, I likened it, or I kind of compared it to Killmonger in Black Panther. Right? He had this statement about his people and the things that they went through. I figured that Chayton in that movie was the equivalent in that. And he was in the back of the seat. He was in the back of the car. He was doing that. When he was in the house, telling me, this is not your house. Who are you to come in here and question me? So just real, lightly, and you probably know more than us, but when it comes to comparing sacrificial lambs, I guess, because both of those characters, had a demise that we didn't want. But when it comes to it, I don't even know if I should ask this question. This is the type of question you can ask.
Wait, hold on. Wait. Okay,
when you're being a sacrificial lamb for your people.
Right, okay.
When you're being a sacrificial lamb for your people and you're trying to prove a point, what can you expect besides death?
Right, but...
Well, the thing about Chayton is Chayton had a vision. When we initially meet Chayton, Chayton is in a position of leader of the Redbones.
Okay.
Now, his Redbone organization was an indigenous community inside the indigenous community.
Right. That's deep.
And he was trying to grow his community outside the larger Kanaho tribe.
So he was trying to stretch
The reservation.
Right. And so this is depicted with the different types of tattoos that he wears.
Copy.
He wore a lot of Pueblo. He wore a lot of Algonquin. He wore a lot of Plains Indians. He had all these different styles of Indian. He had some woodland Indians on his chest. He had all different types of Native Americans on his chest because he believed that he was trying to amalgamate or bring all of the tribes together so that they could then fight against their oppressor, which was the American government.
Okay.
Right.
So, I'm sorry. Keep that. Don't forget it. Write it down. Don't forget it. Take a picture.
I got it.
So does Killmonger comparatively have kind of the same role, same impact?
You could, but Killmonger came after Chayton.
Hey, you're right. Actually, you're right. I know you're right, but
in the movie,
Right.
Now,
In
the comics,
Right. Yeah.
I'm sure Killmonger was a part of the comic. I'm not sure.
before, Marvel,
Yeah,
correct.
yeah.
Maybe,
But the actual movie depiction of Killmonger came after Chayton Littlestone.
Okay.
Right.
So I think, you might have had an impact on it because Ryan Coogler is very conscious.
Well,
But I don't know. We don't know. I'm just saying. I know your performance was extremely powerful. You worked with Anthony Starr. People know him from The Boys, which I love.
Right.
But they most recently know him from G20 when he performed that great performance with Viola Davis.
Right.
So you're in this same umbrella. You're in the same circles. My aunt is Alfred Woodard. She's a great actor. Shout out auntie. And my pops, whatever. We have a jaded relationship, but I love him. But my pops aunt is Alfred Woodard, and we discuss certain roles and certain aspects of these roles. I believe, you might not, I believe that there are a lot of Native people who respect that role and hold that role to a high standard.
Oh, bro, I get love from the Native American community constantly. I mean, when Chayton first came out, I would be inundated with all these different Native American communities. But some communities can be a little bit standoffish, which is fine. I don't hold it against them because history proves themselves right. Proves them right when it comes to being standoffish. Right. So, like if you think of the Inuits in Canada, they can be very standoffish.
Oh, definitely.
And very closed off, especially to Native Americans in America because they really don't feel like we're.
They can relate to the same.
Well, I mean, they think of us as mongrels and
less civilized.
Yeah, less than them. They're more antiquated. They have all this paperwork and they have all these rights and First Nations. They have this whole thing, which is cool.
Which is great. We wish we would have done it like that.
I don't knock them for doing their thing and getting their paperwork in order.
Right.
I got no problem. But I mean, it's like, how am I going to walk around as an indigenous man and let my oppressor decide if I'm indigenous or not?
No. Because my family is from Tulsa. My grandmother was in a tribe, but I don't want to state the name just out of respect. But anyway, they were in the Trail of Tears, her ancestors. So it's a lot to digest. Bro. It's a lot to deflect and a lot to kind of digest. I said that earlier. But another role, and this might be the reason why some of the Canadian, natives don't really view us the same. This role is, Boar Tusk. Talk to him. So you was gonna do it, but I'm gonna jump up.
Hey, run it though.
This dude had a great performance with some of the A-list actors, some of the top actors: Kurt Russell, Patrick Wilson, David Arquette. And your role was the complete opposite, but it was even more powerful. And I don't even know if you said a word.
No, he didn't say that.
He didn't say not one word.
He didn't say that.
Talk to him, man. Talk to him.
In fact, when I was auditioning for the role, Craig Zoller, the director and the creator and the producer and the writer, basically said to me, he doesn't want to eat. I don't want to give you this role because he doesn't say anything, and I really want to feature your voice.
Right.
And I'm like, hey man, I'm happy to do the role with or without lines. It's no big deal because he's such an iconic character.
Right.
I'm really sort of into it. He says, cool. Well, you know what? The next project I do, I'm gonna have you a part of it, and we're gonna do some lines. I was like, all right, cool. So once we done Bone Tomahawk, I was extremely happy with the work. We saw the premiere,
right,
and a lot of people of note were at the premiere, and they all said the same thing. The character that moved them to skin crawl.
One of the most.
They made their skin crawl was Bortus.
Of course.
So I was like, I'm happy, bro.
I know it.
I'm happy.
And I know it was a sound effect, but that eerie sound, that noise, that jolt, that yell, that proclamation that they played. Oh my goodness! Come on, dude. What is that? It's
what was it like working alongside Kurt Russell though?
I'm gonna tell you, Kurt is the kind of guy I could have a cigar with.
Okay. That mean he cool?
Kurt is, man, beyond cool, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, he is like a straight, he's the kind of guy that would turn up to set in a Yugo.
Hey now.
Just down to earth.
Dude, he don't care, bro. And it's like, if you getting wide shots or something like that and you need a minute to set up the set, he'll look over it, and he looked over at me more than once and said, Geno, come on, man, let's go smoke a cigarette. I'm like, all right, cool, let's go, bro.
Step to the side real quick, though.
I love traditional old white men.
Yeah,
I don't know why these dudes are so cool.
Bro, we sit out in the area where we were allowed to smoke. I'd smoke me a little cigar. Right. A little cigarillo.
Were you dressed? Were you still in costume? Just
in costume, bro.
Now that's gotta be.
With
that's
horns,
a picture.
With horns.
That's a picture.
Big W's on Capitol. You know what I mean? Hold on.
And Kurt and I would sit there and talk for hours, man. Good dude, man. He talked to me about his wine vineyards.
Okay.
I heard about that.
And his whole reasoning behind the packaging, the labeling.
Okay.
Why he went, completely contrast to the way the market was going.
Right.
He didn't put his name on it anywhere. He wanted to be a winemaker of substance as opposed to of marketing.
A brand.
Brand.
Right. I know what you mean. So who's the best actor or actress that you could say that you work with, that you look up to the most, that you like inspired you?
Okay. Great question.
Oh man!
That means it's a real good question.
Take your time, bro.
No.
I got the Jeopardy sound.
I'm gonna be honest. Because I've worked with a lot.
Yes, sir.
A lot of very talented, very acclaimed, very endearing co-actors and co-stars. I've had a wonderful dream of a ride. But if I were to say someone that I look up to and admire. This is going to come as a shock to him as well, would have to be Bradley Whitford.
Okay.
Really?
It would have to be Bradley Whitford.
Okay.
And the reason I look up to him was because the work that he did, the work that he's done over his career, the span of his career, is nothing short of just unbelievable, amazing. I mean,
I copy that.
Gotcha. And the work that he's done in terms of across the segment, whether it's on stage,
right,
whether it's on television, whether it's in movies. I mean,
is that the guy that was in
Get Out?
Get Out?
Yeah, he plays the doctor.
Dan, right?
The doctor, yeah.
Yeah. Hold on.
The comedic girth. The comedic skill,
right? You can say that word.
The dramatic skill,
right? Whatever the case is.
On stage skill. I mean, it's across the board, bro. And I'm like, man, if I wanted to be like anybody, it would be Bradley Whitford.
Shout out to Bradley, though. Hold on, wait.
Let's go there. But see, I'm a child of theater. Yes. Originally, I'm a child of theater, which is why I have such character. But anyway, I'm a child of theater. When you're working with these individuals who have been in theater for so long, you always are a sponge. You're learning every time. So you'll learn from just the way that they stand. And if you're inquiring, if you're an inquisitive young mind that wants to be better, all you have to do is ask one question, and they'll literally enlighten you.
Yeah,
Just tell you how it is.
I worked with Bradley on a show called Perfect Harmony.
Oh, you were singing. Great. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
It was a wonderful opportunity to sing and act and do my thing.
So you can sing too?
Yeah, I sing a little bit.
Okay, my bad. Keep going. My bad. Keep going.
But you know, my character got the chance to work, you know, individually with Bradley's character.
Okay.
And I always found that, you know, if I just let go of the moment with this guy, we're going to find something. And every single time I'm in a scene with him, I almost forget that I'm in a scene.
Hey now.
You know what I mean? I'm actually living truthfully under this make-believe circumstance. And I really feel like I was just talking with this guy about this particular situation. Right. And we were it's just, and because he's so generous as a performer and as an actor, it makes it easier for me to
fall in line,
to just do what I need to do.
What you need to do. It's a give and go. It's a take. It's a tug and pull.
You said four lateral, homie. What are you doing? You feel
dude? It's a straight up pick and pop.
Right.
He doesn't even and he don't even touch the pick. Right. He sets up like boop and lets you go by, and I pop, and he shoots the three, and away we go.
That's it.
You know what I mean? And he's always he's 100%, bro.
Acting is kind of like
100%.
Acting is kind of like when they say in the Bible, where two or more are gathered, then you have a great. That's the same way with acting. Because when me and Elle, you know, are really in the mode and really trying to perform and really do something, it's absorbed, it's accepted. I know it's the same way with acting, 100%,
right? Bro.
Has to be.
Okay, so real quick with your acting path, I know you've done a lot. Can you really kind of touch on how you balance your dreams and your discipline? You touched on discipline earlier, but how can you balance? And you kind of mentioned it with your relationship, but how can you balance having discipline, taking care of what's needed as a dad, and still trying to achieve your dreams, achieve what's there for you?
Here's the irony of being an actor in today's world. Being an actor on my level. Right. Because I am not internationally known.
What? We think so.
No. I mean, well, one of my characters.
We see you in New Zealand.
Does IMDb say different?
Some of my characters.
Okay.
But I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like an A-lister. I'm not a Will Smith just yet. I'm not a Dwayne Johnson just yet. Right? Okay. So because I'm not internationally known like those guys, I have the luxury of working roughly about 50 to 70 days a year.
Wow. That's all?
That's it, bro.
What?
That's deep.
Sign me up.
I work about 50 to 70 days a year.
Amazing.
So that's across the board.
Okay.
That's with acting. That's public speaking. That's coaching.
Wow.
That's less than 3 months.
And he does a lot.
Right.
This guy does a lot on Father's Day.
Right.
He was outside helping the other, or not other, but children and other people accomplish their dream.
Absolutely.
I saw that.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely.
So you telling me you only work that much?
Public speaking. That was part of my public speaking sort of
matter of
work
fact,
that I do.
we need your voice for Fathers from the Hood. We need
can you just say Fathers from the Hood?
Right, you know what I'm saying? And your James Earl Jones voice. Oh no.
Do you know James Earl Jones? He was the replacement for one of the James Earl Jones characters. You know, but not replacement.
No.
Not replacement. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But you did another adaptation of that role for a James Earl Jones role.
Well, and that was the Lion King or something?
The original Lion King was James Earl Jones.
Right.
Gotcha, right.
So when they think of Mufasa, everyone thinks of James Earl Jones.
Okay.
Now they're going to start thinking of Aaron Pierre.
Or you know what? Aaron Pierre is cool, but he's a little too zesty for me. I'm thinking of Geno with the Australian playwright.
I don't know Aaron. I know Geno. Hold on. Hey,
I don't know
Geno.
Aaron.
Hold on.
I know Geno.
Geno from Mufasa. Hold on. We in there. Hold on.
Right.
But at the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, you know, if you think of the role originally,
yes, sir,
you're thinking of James Earl Jones.
Yes, sir.
Oddly enough, James Earl Jones in the movie does not sing.
No, he doesn't. Not at all.
So this opened the door to creating a Mufasa that sings, not only sings like a girl.
Okay.
my expression. But now when I go back into the archives of Mufasa and I find the original Mufasa, right? I can't think of his name, escapes me right now, but he was the original Mufasa on Broadway.
Okay.
And he sang "They Live in You."
Okay.
Like a man.
Hey
okay.
Now. Hey
He
now.
sang like a man.
Hey now.
He didn't sing these high F sharps and these all this stuff at the end, right? He didn't sing it like that.
That's how it is now.
But when they got to finally get to Broadway, they want to make his song more.
Was it Samuel Wright?
Samuel Wright.
I don't mean to cut you off, but I just looked it up. I'm not special. I Googled it.
Samuel Wright.
He said, hold on, message. Oh.
Right.
Samuel Wright.
Right.
He sang it like a man, dude. I mean, the whole way through. But they wanted to make it more dynamic. So what does that mean? They put a bunch of high notes in it.
Up and down.
So they basically turned Mufasa into a baritone tenor.
Oh, when he should have been tone all the way.
Always been a bass baritone at
all
at
the
most.
way, right?
Bass baritone, right?
Right.
So when I get the job, I didn't know that much about music.
Okay.
So I didn't know that I was singing tenor notes.
Oh, you just knew what was natural to you.
It was just natural to me.
Right.
I didn't know I was singing tenor
or
notes.
you could go lower or higher.
Right. I didn't know that. I didn't know that was a thing. And what I then realized is that I was what they call a basso profundo.
Wait.
More than one.
A basso profundo is a person who sings, ultra low bass.
Definition.
Drop a bomb on it. Hold on. Wait,
ultra low bass, right?
Copy.
Ultra low bass.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And what I did not know is that I was the only basso profundo in the world of The Lion King.
Oh, wow. So in all of the roles that have, all of the players and actors and singers.
All of the shows around the world.
You're the only one?
I was the only basso profundo.
Okay. So
what happens is that begins to draw a distinction between
Swang.
this Lion King and the Lion King with Geno
it
Segers
does.
in it.
It does.
Swang,
right?
Swang. Nah, I got you. Swang. Keep going.
And then so Disney, in their brilliance, decided that, hey, we need to stop this show.
Right.
And they stopped the show and then started a new show, got a completely new cast, and left me out.
Oh.
Which is fine.
Okay.
But because
is that the one with Beyonce and all of?
No.
The show, the Broadway show.
Broadway show.
Okay, sorry, my bad. I'm sorry.
Right,
Differentiate.
Right. It's all good.
Right.
It's all good.
Completely different show.
Right.
Because you can't, in the world of the Lion King, you can't have one Lion King show being usurping all the other shows.
I guess so. You're right.
It's got to be a uniform show.
It's got to be one conglomerate.
One
umbrella.
The star of the show is the show itself.
Right, that part.
The name is the show.
The star of the show is the show itself. Whoever we put in that Mufasa costume is Mufasa.
Okay.
Whoever we put in that Nala costume is Nala.
Okay.
And so on and so forth.
Okay. Real quick, I know we're jumping around. We almost there because this dude got an illustrious timeline of things that he's done. Real quick, he played Galactus.
Oh,
yeah.
I want to ask you about that.
Of course.
Hold on. I got 7 kids. Hold on. Wait. Hold on. Oh, play Fortnite. Wait. Hold on. I'm just saying, how that come about? How'd you get
on
that role?
Fortnite, Galactus. Come on, man.
No. Now, if you play Fortnite, you know that there is 2 places you can play. There's 2 worlds you can go in.
Online.
There's the Battle Royale.
Right.
And then there's the Save the World.
Okay.
That part, right.
So I auditioned for a character in Save the World called Sergeant Tank Gatlin.
Okay.
So once I delivered Sergeant Tank Gatlin, about a year later, they called me and says, Geno, we got this character we want you to play. Do you have time to do it? Okay. I was like, absolutely. What's his name? We'll tell you when you get here.
Oh,
I'm like, all right, cool. So I go into the office and they say, okay, Geno, here are your sides, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, who is this guy? Who is this guy? And they tell me it's Galactus. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, I didn't know who Galactus was.
What?
Bro, I didn't know who Galactus was.
Hold on, drop a bomb. You didn't know who Galactus was?
I didn't know who Galactus was, bro.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't really follow Marvel like that. I didn't really do it.
Hey, man, he's going to be in Marvel. We proclaim it because his voice is there. But anyway, go ahead.
Manifestation. Hold on, we in there.
So I go and do the lines. I do the lines, and we do it. And he's like, "Oh my God, that's good, that's good." And whatever, they like it. We do some different takes. We do an ABC, what's called an ABC in the industry, right?
More than one.
So we do ABC on all the lines. We go through one time. And he says, "I say, you good?" He says, "Yeah, I'm good. If you good," I say, "Dude, let's do it again." So we do it again.
Wow,
and,
that's how you know you did it.
And we do it again. And so,
Okay.
and I'm happy with it, and like no big deal, right?
Right.
A year later, he says, "Don't tell anybody." I'm like, "Cool, I won't tell a word. I won't say a word."
NDA, hold on.
Right, I won't say a word. So my manager's assistant is a Fortnite fanatic.
Okay.
Right.
So is my son.
Right.
So the assistant spilled the beans. Huh?
The assistant tries to get me the credit on IMDb before
It dropped.
it drops.
You spilled the beans.
Oh,
Well, no,
man.
she tried to do her job.
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
he,
trying to
maybe
do her job.
she-
Or he,
yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it don't matter who it is.
And like
yeah.
it was over after that, bro.
Once you did that, everybody knew.
But they were like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I ain't doing nothing. What are you talking about?" So they we got it organized and we took it down, but it was too late, man. The whole
too
world
late.
knew.
And it's crazy.
Fanatics, bro.
Like hearing your voice now.
Now it
You
triggers
know what I
it.
mean? I got a lot of kids, right?
Right,
And they
right.
play Fortnite.
Mine's
And just
too.
To hear you, just swing, and to hear your voice now,
It rings a bell.
man, more than bells. Nigga, hold up, Merry Christmas in this book. Hold up.
Christmas, I bought it.
Man, that collection plate got to go around 3 times.
He's
bro.
stupid.
Hold on. Lock the
So
door,
look,
Pastor.
real
Hold
quick,
on.
real quick. Let me drive and change the lane.
Swing.
If you don't mind. So real quick,
Do your thing.
he's talking about Christmas and the collection plate. No, I'm just kidding. So he has
I
an
did.
organization and talk to us about it. Hold it on the road and the message. Are we still there? Can we partner with you guys? What is the message? Talk to me.
What I do with Hold It on the Road is I use my public speaking platform in order to talk with kids about making good life decisions today to impact their future tomorrow.
That's
Now, Hold It on the Road is sort of like a saying that we used to have back in the South.
Okay.
We would say, "Hold it on the road" when you leave the party because you need to get home safely.
Type H.
Right?
Right.
Make good decisions when you drive so
Hold
you
on
get
the
to where
road.
you're going.
Hold on the
Keep
road,
your eyes
baby.
Hold on the road,
Right,
baby.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so in that same light, I would try to tell kids to hold it on the road. Make good decisions so you get to where you want to go in life.
The road of
Swing.
life. Right.
Yes,
The
yes.
road of life is treacherous.
Yes, sir.
We got a whole bunch of people that are tow trucks.
Yeah.
Whole bunch of organizations out there that pull people out of ditches.
Right.
My organization tries to hold kids on the road
Okay.
as opposed to get. It's easier to keep a car on the road than to pull one out of a ditch.
Hey.
And that's what I'm espousing. I want to help kids stay on the road to productivity, stay on the road to success, stay
Tabernacle.
on the road to being a legitimate, productive member
Citizen.
of society,
Yeah, yeah.
regardless
Man,
of where.
Cathedral, keep
Our
preaching,
boy
bro.
Chuck, he
Keep
got
preaching,
some-
man. Keep preaching, man.
Our
No,
boy
I
Chuck
mean-
got teenagers. He got people. He's really adamant about making sure that they
Yeah,
one
bro.
are good citizens, but I look at it same way, are better than me. I've
Absolutely.
made
Right,
mistakes,
exactly.
son. Make sure you're better than me.
But,
Anything better than that is going to be better.
But ultimately,
Man, that part.
if we as fathers
yeah,
take the mantle of being the example of children, of our kids, other kids are going to see that invariably. They're going to see
yeah, because your kid's not going to listen to you as much as somebody else.
exactly. Other kids are going to see you turning up at the soccer game.
Very true. Very
Other
true.
kids are going to see you turning up at the track meet.
Right.
Other kids are going to see you turning up at graduation. Other
Right,
kids
right.
are going to see you at the park with your son.
Yeah,
Other
true.
kids are going to see that, bro.
Like that.
So
right.
Like that army dude on Jenny Jones. He said, "Do you want me to be your daddy? You want to come home with me?" He said, "Yes."
He said, yes,
He said, "Why?"
I didn't have no
I have no
father.
daddy.
Right.
yeah.
So you're right.
Yeah,
bro.
no.
You're
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
What word of encouragement would you give to a father trying to be in the acting industry who is trying to get his Screen Actors Guild initiation? What kind of advice would you give to a young actor and father?
Get a job. Bro.
He said, stick to your
said-
9 to
he took a
5.
deep breath. He said,
Get a job.
"You're going to need that money, brother."
You're going to need
Nah,
a job, bro.
swing,
I mean, at the end of the day, man, you got to have something that's bringing in the bread and paying these bills and keeping them wolves away from the door
Hey, now.
until you can get to a place where you can get you a new door. You know what I'm
Swing,
saying?
swing.
You can't expect to now this is the father. I'm talking
Right.
about the father,
Right. Yes, sir.
right? Who's got responsibility.
Yes, sir.
Who's got obligations.
Right.
Yeah, you got to meet those obligations while you chase your goals, bro.
Unfortunately, we
Yeah,
do.
You got to meet
Sadly,
your obligations. Now, if you are solo, and you got what I call dick discipline.
Oh, freedom. Oh, he's still.
He said dick
Wait.
discipline message. Hold on.
L don't got that.
Hold on. Wait.
Hey.
No.
I'm just saying. Let him go.
I got too many kids. I love boy. Hold on.
If you got it like that, then I would be, I'd sell everything, buy me a van, and move into my van and move to LA and start
Hollywood.
grinding. Start the grind, bro. Because you can make
Get
it.
old Hollywood.
You can make it. Absolutely, you can make it.
I believe you, and I know because I've been in there, but I only came back to Vegas to be with my family, to be with the kids.
There you go.
So,
There you go.
a lot of people
Message.
try to do positive things. This is something I'm doing positive to keep us in light or in line with being dads and being positive. Hey, sometimes you don't get anything for being a dad. So this is what we are. I'm going to give you your credit. He going to give you your credit. But we started a performing arts center for the kids and all of these things. So what Geno does is the exact same thing that we do, because we really just try to enlighten the next generation, try to just make sure they move forward.
Ancestral lineage, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and in ancestral lineage, speaking of lineage, my aunt, we touched on the topic, Aunt Afri Woodard, shout out Auntie, but I'm not really engulfed into Hollywood or into the acting scene as I would want to be. But you are, and you know some of these things. What does it take to really shoot? How much does it take to shoot a movie, a short film, or a little video? Tell these people, because they think it's just ball.
Let's keep it a buck, man. Let's
Talk
keep it
to
a
me.
buck. You can shoot a movie right now for nothing.
He said $0.
Message.
Finance message.
All you need is a what?
You got an iPhone.
Oh, we got a few of those.
You got camera.
We got a few of those. He said
right there, bro. I mean, you got enough sound equipment, enough camera equipment, enough lights to shoot a movie right now. Now, is it going to be a blockbuster?
I hope so. I hope so.
Are they gonna pay for the view that movie?
Or is it going to be a Tubi original?
Straight to Tubi.
Hey, I take Tubi.
Hey, this
Anything
dude.
beats a zero though. Slow motion better than no motion.
Right, right.
Man, one for the front of the other. Hold
100,
on.
bro, 100. But now the numbers are various, bro. You can shoot a movie for nothing, or the amount of money you spend, what's your time worth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can take $100 and make a movie. You can take $1 million and make a movie. You can take $1,000 and make a movie. You can take $100 million and make a movie.
But is it going to be a blockbuster?
Is it going to be? But now I've seen movies with $100 million budgets.
Right.
Swang.
That weren't worth 10 cents.
Straight to the sink.
Oh, he said not even 9 cents.
But we've also seen
$50,000 movies that were brilliantly done.
take over.
Hey,
$50,000.
So you hear it from the industry expert himself.
I tell you what. Ask Ice Cube how much. How much it costs
talking
to
about
make
Friday.
that first movie Friday?
It starts with an idea.
Matter of fact, Ice Cube, bro, we're gonna get you on the podcast, bro.
Thomas Edison. Look,
I want to say they shot that movie in a weekend.
And then nobody got paid nothing. Everybody talk. You go on YouTube. Everybody talk about I ain't got paid nothing. I ain't got paid nothing.
Yeah.
But they wanted to be a part of
Absolutely.
that because he sold that dream to him. And look, Thomas Edison had an idea, but you didn't know what the light bulb was until he sold that idea.
But see, Nikola Tesla had an idea too.
But you didn't know
Thomas
what it
Edison
was.
took it from him and then ran it with him. That's history though.
Okay, next topic. He always go with the man. I love your brother.
Ice Cube though on the podcast. I'm gonna get you on though.
Okay, real quick. We're trying to get. We almost there, y'all. This dude's time is very important. So real quick, we're talking about Travos Decker. If you haven't heard about Travos Decker, this dude is wanted in Washington, and he killed or allegedly killed his 3 daughters. Okay, go ahead, Chuck. You got it. He allegedly killed 3 daughters, and he's still being hunted for. Go ahead, Chuck. He's still being looked for.
Really?
We talked about it earlier. A dude from Minnesota killed lawmakers. He was found in the same week.
That's different though.
This dude, ex-military, killed 3 beautiful young girls, all from under the age of 10. Go ahead, Chuck. And he can't be found. Talk to me about Travos Decker. We're going to let the guests go, and then L, you'll spill your conspiracy theorist stuff that you want to talk.
Theorist conspiracy for sure. Though.
Are you familiar with the Travos Decker story?
Dude, I heard about that, man. I couldn't. It's hard for me to stomach stuff like that, man.
Right.
Man,
No, you know what I mean? It's like what. You know.
Why, how, what? Right.
I'm sad for the kids.
The little girls, bro.
But what must this man be going through, bro?
Okay. Let's talk about it.
What must this man be going through to take his baby's lives like that?
Okay, now I'm not going to read verbatim what we're reading on this article, but basically he had custody weeks prior. He was living in campsites with the girl, and I talked about that. The 3 girls, he was staying in campsites, he was staying here, and the mother was allowing the dad to have a relationship with the kids. Right. Okay, the mother felt as if the dad wasn't going to be the same unless he was meeting with these girls. Right. But she, in her mind, knew that something might have been wrong. They're at campsites, they're sleeping in the trunk, they're here doing this fishing, and crazy. Hey, granted, that might be a good thing, but you're dealing with 3 girls. These girls have to be at a certain level of hygienic standard,
of course,
a certain level of mental standard, sleeping, and all of that,
and being able to be loved properly standard. You know what I'm saying?
You're defending the dad, which is fine.
Well, no, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You got three little girls, right?
Right.
All right. So they're princesses. They're not queens yet, and they have a certain not obligation, but they deserve to be treated properly.
Very true.
That's it. That's
very true. About. But here's the thing. Okay, now as a mother or as a parent, as a guardian, you are a dad, and you too, Geno, you're a dad. Mm-hmm. Maybe the child's mother is a great mother, but you know that this girl is crazy. Sometimes she's off the wall. Sometimes she's literally jumping off the wall and jumping on you.
And how many baby mamas is that we know, though?
I'm not saying that's what Travis did, but this is the topic, and we're going to go back and forth now and later because I see you feel strongly about Travis. But if this dude wasn't at the mental state that he should have been, the mother was allowing him to see the kids. What happened after? The girls are gone.
They are.
They're not here anymore. Well, she knew the daddy was crazy. The police knew the daddy was crazy. The army, when they discharged his ass, knew he was crazy. And now these girls are no longer here. Talk to me. What you gonna say now?
Man, he's still. Man, he hasn't got caught yet.
Oh yeah, you said that the girls need the dad's love. Yeah, the girls need the dad's love. But how much do you need if the daddy is crazy? How much of the mother do you need if the mother is crazy? Slow down, Arbet. Go ahead.
But think about it. That's improper co-parenting. That means 2 people do not have the ability to coexist to make sure the ancestral lineage
is secure.
Exactly.
I hear you.
You know what I'm saying?
But that's fine. That means 2 people together. But if you're separate, who is going to raise their hand and say, you know what? I'm sorry, but you know what? I don't think you need to visit them unless you're with me. These 3 girls are dead. This dad is still
he ain't been found.
Man, this dad is still eating on branches and chickpeas and berries in the Washington woods. They haven't found him.
Right, exactly.
Bro,
go ahead, Geno.
Here's the deeper question.
Yes, sir.
How do we fix it?
Yeah, seriously.
Copy that. Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, honestly, the whole dissolving of mental institutions, I think, was the biggest mistake that we could have ever made. I don't think we need something for these people. We need a place for these people to go and work out. Yeah, to work out their issues, and maybe even a place where, you know, I mean, I don't. You know, okay, Freud and Adler, right? Freud said that everything comes from your childhood. Everything comes from, you know, what happened when you were a kid. Yeah. So we need to sit down and talk about it, right? Adler says everything is forward. Sure, bad things happen to you, but if you are the sum of your thoughts, how you think, your goals, your ambitions, right? I think we went too far down the Freudian way, where we talk about our problems, and that whole talking about your problems is really ruminating. So your problems then become bigger because you talk about them all the damn time.
Well, maybe not all the time,
but I'm just saying.
True, very true. You're living in it now.
Yeah, that part.
I'm not suggesting not talking about it.
Okay.
I'm simply saying, okay, talk about it, deal with it, and move on.
And do an action plan to get past it.
When I'm talking about people that's been in therapy for the last 20 years, bro.
It still ain't going nowhere.
That ain't helping, bro. That's a bad idea. I'm just saying, okay, you know, all right, something happens, cry about it, move on.
Right.
Embrace it, cry about it, move on, and let's move on. Let's move on. Because what did Marcus Aurelius say? You know, Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoics. Yeah. I mean, you know, things are going to happen. They're not good or bad.
Right.
They're just things.
They
The
hold
only
same
thing,
weight.
the only
Right,
thing
right.
good or bad that happens is your reaction.
Okay.
Type
Right.
is.
So really, if you react poorly, then it's assumed bad. If you react positively, that's assumed good. Don't ever go too high or don't ever go too low. Keep it at zero, baby.
Equanimity.
Hey, it's harder. It's harder. It's harder.
Keep it at zero.
Easier said than done.
Yeah, sure.
It
Sure,
is.
but if you practice it,
Right.
that's why stoicism is a practice.
Right.
Man, Geno preaching
Some,
right now,
some
man.
people
that
don't like.
collection plate one
Some
more time,
women
run
don't like
around, you know what I'm
stoicism,
saying?
especially in today's time.
No.
But honey, I need to digest what I'm thinking about,
Right.
what I'm going through. I need to
Right,
contemplate
right,
what's
right.
my next best step, and verbally.
Right.
So I hear you.
Right,
You know,
bro.
I really hear you. Nowadays, it's not really accepted
But
or it's not appreciated.
Just
but you're
just have a look at some of the great Stoics, bro.
right.
Have a look at Marcus Aurelius.
Yep.
Look at what's his
The dad from How to Fight the Dragon, he was stoic. No,
even
I was
Nietzsche.
joking.
Even
Nietzsche?
Nietzsche, bro.
Okay.
Even Nietzsche. I mean, if you get angry and you're ready to strike, right? The best thing for anger is delay.
but you know why? A lot of them been raised by women.
But that's emotion.
So emotion
Right,
gonna run
right,
out.
right.
Yeah.
But if you get angry, the best thing you can do is wait.
Yes, sir.
That is the absolute best thing you can do. And if I've
That's
ever
one of the
ever
best things ever.
employed anything that has worked for me, when I got angry, I just wait.
Right.
Take a step back, take a breath, and separate myself from the issue,
Yeah.
wait,
Yeah.
and think. And once I calm down, I can think clearly because now my anger's not distorting my ability to reason.
Yeah, we got to start acting on
what I'm
wisdom.
saying?
Yeah, we got to start acting like we got a little wisdom. Men done been through a lot, but sometimes we act as if we don't have no knowledge or wisdom of what we're into.
Oh, but knowledge and wisdom are different, my friend.
Of course.
Very true. Very true.
No,
Knowledge is
that
the
is
Knowledge is information.
yeah.
Wisdom
Wisdom.
is
application
information
process.
applied.
Yeah,
That part,
very
application
true.
process.
Right.
I figure wisdom is experience.
Wisdom, wisdom is knowledge applied.
Well,
bro.
knowledge is
Knowledge
the
applied.
experience, but the wisdom is the application process of the experience you've had.
Right.
You
There
know
you go.
what I'm saying? So-
Okay, my bad, Farrakhan.
Like a guy, a guy that has all this knowledge can be pushing a buggy down.
Come on now.
And we seen it.
Put
We
the
all
bucket
seen
down
it.
Sierra, right?
We seen it.
Come on
Right?
now.
That guy could be the smartest guy on the block, but he's not applying the knowledge
The
that he has.
that part.
Very true.
That part.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Very
You
true.
know, and then you might have a guy that made C's in school, but he's determined.
Right.
That part. Yeah.
And he's applying knowledge that he's experienced
The
from. He's applying his
application
experience.
process
He's
of-
applying the knowledge that he's seen other people.
And he get out and he lapping y'all
He's lapping.
wisdom, your wise people.
Well, the
He's getting-
knowledgeable people. He's
Right.
lapping the knowledge of
Message.
people.
All that, bro.
The accredited people with the degrees.
with the degrees.
And all of that.
Sometimes, I'm real quick. I'm gonna touch on this before we go to the next topic. He just mentioned people with degrees. Sometimes you can come out of school with a degree and not know as much with people that put their hands on the equipment,
There
who
you
put
go.
their hands in that industry.
Yeah,
and
man.
I think that's the equivalent of what he's trying to say.
Absolutely.
Right? Maybe. Okay, so before I know we had a couple other topics, but before we get out of here, we do have him here, and we have to get some Geno words of wisdom.
Hey, now.
Now,
Message.
if you're not aware, go ahead and follow Geno's. First of all,
Hold on.
listen.
Swing.
But if you're not aware, go ahead and follow Geno Segers online. And he has a host of knowledgeable topics that he covers. He has a host of things that he can tell you as a young man, as a young woman, how to think and how to kind of address and look at it from a different perspective.
Swing.
Right? But today we want Geno's words of wisdom to a new father. Let me build the perspective. You want me to build the story or are you going to build it?
I got you.
You got you? Quick, off the top.
got
Hurry
you.
up. Come on.
This is where it's at.
You got a new dad.
So, Geno, you see a new dad, right? Let's say you coming out the hospital, right? You see this brand new pappy, you know what I'm saying, waiting at the valet or the, you know.
At the
what I'm
valet.
saying? At the valet. Call it a valet. You know what I'm saying? He got the brand new baby in the car seat, waiting for the car to pull up. What would be your best advice for that young man?
Well, my best advice would be to talk to your baby like they're a grown adult.
Right.
That's dope. That's
Talk to them like a grown adult. Never talk to them in baby talk. Never talk to
Copy
them.
that.
Never
I
treat
love
them
that.
like they're a little a little baby or they're incapacitated. They can't take care of themselves. Talk to them like a complete grown up, and eventually you'll notice that kids kids who are spoken to like adults speak faster. They start talking faster, and they start speaking in complete sentences.
Talk to me.
Earlier. Right. And, you know, I would absolutely suggest that, because I had a fight with my first wife and her mother about them speaking. Oh, baby. All that stuff. I was like, hey.
All that.
Say, he gonna forget that.
English.
He said English.
Talk English.
I blame English.
A language. Doesn't matter what language it is. Speak a clear language to the child. Don't talk to them like they're from, bebop. You know what I mean?
No, I feel you. I know what you mean.
I hear you, because a lot of people actually with older kids and they have a new baby, the kids learn more from the older brothers and sisters. Yeah. Now, granted, they're not talking baby talk, and it's not adult talk, but they're talking to that baby. So that baby is learning more, learning faster. They're adapting to this verbiage that they encounter every day.
Right, man.
Well, we know with babies, though, bro, we're born with a language already that we speak.
Okay, you watch Baby Geniuses too much.
No, not even. Hold on. Wait, I just remember. Hold on. Slow down.
Oh, he remember. Okay.
I really do, though. It's one of those where us as individuals, when we're born, we're already born with a certain language that we speak.
Right.
Now, people do not know the first human language was not no words at all. It was body language. You feel me? But it's one of those where babies, when they're born, they already know how to speak. They know how to communicate. It's just they cannot communicate with us. So what you were saying, do not talk to them as babies.
Because they can learn that language that they're automatically supposed to learn.
Exactly.
Is that what you're trying to say?
Basically. No, you got to help that nigga. Hold on. Slow down. Hold on. That collection plate slowed down.
Hey, I'm sorry. This the homie, but he talks slow. He talking and taking forever to prove a point.
No.
But that was a point proved.
It's just impatient. It's all good.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm impatient. I'm impatient. And guess what?
Hey,
look. So look, this is the end.
Is it really? Where's your tip at, though? Hold on.
Hey, my tip of advice?
Hold the Diddy, the cats, and the baby. Hold on.
Hold all that. My tip of advice to the new dads is listen to that woman sometime. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. That's what the homie said on Father's Day. I said, man, you a simp. But look. Listen, hey, as a father, handle yourself, because you're not going to be worth anything to them kids if you don't have your own income, if you don't have your own mind in a good state, if you don't have your own spirituality in a good state. Get yourself together, young king, before you start raising a young man or a young woman into this world. Is that good?
Man, it's good enough. My tip is learn how to do taxes. You know what I'm saying? Hold on.
You're going to need them with them new tax discounts, with them tax deductions.
And the EITC. Hold on.
All right, y'all. Hey, this has been another episode of the Fathers from the Hood podcast. Before we go, we got to have our guest. We got to have the one and only Geno ask if he has any other insights, any shout outs, anything he wants us to know. Go ahead, let us know.
Man, shout out to ODB, man, in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Shout out to my boy Scotty Arant down there in Charlotte doing his thing.
Hey.
Shout out to Western Carolina, the Catamounts, baby. Let's go, Cats. Yeah, man, much love to you guys, man. I love what you're doing. I look forward to coming back and doing it again. But as a parting gift, I'm gonna let y'all know that, hey, what you don't change, you choose.
Hey, that's for real.
Man, can we get a Fathers from the Hood real quick with the deep voice though?
He wants you to say.
I need James Earl Jones. Fathers from the Hood.
Okay. Fathers from the Hood.
We getting it up.
Hey, man, we love y'all. Hey, y'all keep being great fathers to them kids, man. Shout out to Geno, the one and only. Shout out to my bro L and MC. Y'all keep subscribing and being members, man. We love y'all.